So, without any further ado, what is Apple Business Manager? My name is Danny Porter. I'm a Partner Development Manager here at Jamf, working with our technology partners, creating go-to-market strategies with them, and creating unique workflows that help our customers and future customers create unique uses of Apple devices in their organization. During our time today, we're going to talk through a couple different topics. First and foremost, introduce you into Apple services for business. We'll peel back the curtain and go into Apple Business Manager. We'll talk about the portal. We'll help you figure out the best practices to get started utilizing and signing up for Apple Business Manager. And then we'll talk very briefly on how to use Apple Business Manager with your mobile device management server. As we get into the Apple Business Services, first take a moment and introduce you to Jamf. At Jamf, we help organizations succeed with Apple. Our portfolio of products builds a platform in order for organizations to be successful with identity, device management, and endpoint protection. Underpinning all of this is our Jamf Nation user community. It's the world's largest community of Apple administrators with more than 100,000 of your fellow admins on the site ready to help you connect, to learn, and to grow. Let's take a moment and quickly go over our products. Jamf Connect delivers a streamlined Mac authentication and identity management. You can leverage a single cloud identity on any Apple device in order to gain immediate access to the resources that you and your users need. We offer the most comprehensive portfolio of Apple management products in the market. Jamf Now helps small and growing organizations manage their devices, and Jamf Pro is the gold standard in Apple management, and it can help some of the largest and does help some of the largest and most successful companies on the planet oversee their Apple ecosystem. Jamf Protect is our endpoint security solution, purpose-built for Mac. It gives enterprise security teams unprecedented visibility into their entire fleet of macOS devices. With customized telemetry and on-device detections, Jamf Protect extends Apple's security and privacy model while upholding the Apple user experience. We have the opportunity to work and help more than 47,000 organizations manage over 20 million Apple devices. When the enterprise needs the world leader in Apple management, they turn to Jamf. The world's largest banks, tech companies, most valuable brands, and some of the largest companies choose Jamf for their Apple management. Our exclusive focus on Apple and our history of providing same-day support for their new operating systems and services helps you be successful with your Apple devices. It ensures that end users can take advantage of new Apple capabilities the day that they are available. Not only is it going to be compatible with all new Apple releases, but it also will provide you the tools you need to help your organization be successful. So let's talk about the Apple services that allow us to take advantage of helping you be successful with your Apple devices. When I was first being hired at Jamf, I had an interview question posed to me that I had to build a presentation for. I was asked to put together this presentation to answer this question: how can I help organizations be successful with Apple in business? And this same question is asked day in and day out at Jamf. How can we help organizations be successful? Because this workflow might be similar to what you use for Apple devices. This chart represents a traditional PC or any device provisioning workflow. You order the device directly from your reseller or Apple partner. Then it needs to take time to prepare and preload whatever you need on that device. Imaging, applications, policies, and other technology that you might need. Then those devices typically sit in a warehouse or on your shelf and they're ready to then be sent to the user. Now, this time of sitting in a warehouse could be very short, could be longer, but ultimately what we're talking about is that this is a very long and arduous process, and so it's not very fun and doesn't make it easy for you or a very great experience for your end users. So we asked the question, wouldn't it be great if there was an easier way? And there is. When you work with Apple and you're ordering Apple devices from an Apple authorized reseller, you can take advantage of Apple Business Manager in order to create the workflow you see on your screen. You can order an Apple device and have it shipped directly to your end user and still be secure and set up and ready for your end user to be successful. Our CEO, Dean Hager, really sums this up best when he referenced the old iMac commercial from the 90s. Jamf is striving to make management so easy that your end users can 1. Open the box, step 2, power on the device, and 3, well, there is no step 3. We've been chasing this vision since 2002 and are excited to continue chasing it today, in order that you might be able to experience that victory. So what does success look like? When Steve Jobs announced the iPad for the first time, he said that in order for a device to fit in between the iPhone and the Mac, it needed to be far better at some things in order to even be relevant. And though Apple Business Manager is not a device, this portal, it needs to be able to answer that question. It needs to be far better at some things in order to help organizations be successful. The portal needs to be secure, but it doesn't need to be complex. It needs to have the ability for users with various permissions and technology to use. In our case, we need to be able to work with devices and assign them to mobile device management servers. And lastly, we believe that it needs to give you access to the apps you need, free, purchased, or even developed in an easy way to distribute to your mobile device management platform. We believe we found that and will help you be successful when we utilize Apple Business Manager. Apple Business Manager does help you be successful by providing you access to different accounts and users with various roles and permissions. It allows you to assign devices and work to make sure that your device has that zero-touch deployment. It also gives you access to content with apps and books, whatever you want to distribute, whether that is to your user in the application or even redemption codes on their own personal Apple ID. But as we get into Apple Business Manager, it's very helpful to understand that Apple Business Manager is not. There is something that it is not, and Apple Business Manager is not your mobile device management. It is a portal that enables mobile device management to even be successful. Now, some of you know we can use mobile device management without Apple Business Manager. But I would say that in order for you to take advantage of all of Apple's features to help you truly be successful with your Apple deployments with Mac, iPhones, iPads, Apple TVs, Apple Business Manager is critical in order to create this zero-touch deployment. Let's go back a couple slides and see this screen here. When we peel back the curtain of what's going on with zero-touch deployments, we can see that when a device is ordered directly from an Apple authorized reseller, think of the Apple Business Team Direct, or a telecom company, think of Verizon or AT&T and T-Mobile, or other Apple authorized resellers that are specific to your region and your organization. The device can be assigned directly to your Apple Business Manager portal and sent to your mobile device management server without you physically seeing the device. Picture it still in the truck, in delivery. You can then assign the set of instructions that it needs from an MDM so that when it turns on for the first time, the user will know that they'll be set up and the user will have the tools they need to be successful. So once the device turns on for the first time, the user must go through those first 4 steps: hello, language, region, setup manually, as well as connecting to a local network that you've approved. Once at that time, as it's going through Apple servers, it's technically asking Apple, do you know who I am? Apple then says, yes, this device is owned by XYZ company and is using Jamf, in this case, as their mobile device management tool. The device then receives the instructions from the mobile device management tool to be configured, which can include, but is not limited to, setup steps, application downloads, email configurations, and so much more. So now that you know what Apple Business Manager is not, and ultimately what it can do for your organization, let's get into the portal itself in order for you to understand how accounts play in what work you do every single day. How do you assign devices in bulk or individually? And how can you easily and simply acquire and distribute applications to your mobile device management platform? First and foremost, accounts. These are the different users that you can give access to within your Apple Business Manager account. First, you have administrators. These are those that have the keys to the kingdom, if you will. They can do everything within the portal, accept terms and conditions, add additional users, manage device assignments in MDM servers, reset passwords, etc. The device manager manages the devices within the portal. Now, they don't necessarily manage the devices, they manage the assignment and usage of MDM servers. They can assign and release devices from an MDM and from the portal. Thinking, if you're refreshing your devices or you're giving it to your employee when they leave the organization. Content Manager helps you purchase, view, and reassign licenses within the apps and content section within Apple Business Manager. It allows them to hold unassigned licenses for apps if they were purchased, as well as free. The People Manager manages the access and roles within the organization. They can create, edit, and delete managed Apple IDs. They can assign roles, change account status of users, and reset passwords when we forget them. Lastly, Staff. This managed Apple ID can allow a user to sign into iCloud.com and utilize apps and books within their organization on their personal or corporate-owned devices. Now, before we go in too deep, I want to touch on what are managed Apple IDs. Managed Apple IDs are created within the Apple Business Manager platform. You can use these multiple managed Apple IDs on a device, layering them next to a personal Apple ID. It gives the user access to contacts, calendars, and reminders. You can even have it federated against your Microsoft Azure Active Directory portal. It allows you to take advantage of shared iPad for business, utilize iWork collaboration for Pages, Numbers, and Keynote. And if you're utilizing the user enrollment method for your personal owned devices in your organization, they can utilize the managed Apple ID to authenticate to download the profile from your mobile device management platform. If you have more questions around the user enrollment method, we have additional webinars and additional technical documents for you to support that process. As we step into the devices portion of Apple Business Manager, here we can assign devices to an MDM server. We can search for them based upon user, based upon type, and make sure that they get to the MDM you're using. You can release the device, and it provides a very basic device inventory. The apps and books section, you can ultimately say is your business app store. It allows you to buy content in volume, free or purchased, assign content to users and devices, and when you're utilizing mobile device management, it can install and update those apps wirelessly, hopefully freeing you up from having to think about how do I keep my employees' apps up to date when they need to be and connected. As we go a little bit deeper into the portal, let's talk about locations and settings, which we didn't discuss earlier. Locations give access for accounts to multiple departments or multiple remote locations for your organization. Different content managers have a different location and can assign those based upon their needs for their users. Every location has its own token for content distribution that then can be uploaded into your mobile device management platform. Make sure that your mobile device management platform can upload multiple tokens if you want to use various locations. As we go into settings, let's talk about these different areas. From apps and books, where you can see store credit, see the billing information for those purchased apps, and this is where you access the tokens that need to be uploaded into your Apple Business Manager, from Apple Business Manager to your mobile device management server. When we get into the enrollment information, you can see organization ID, which is critical when you're working with your reseller, as well as if you're working with a developer and they have developed an in-house app for you. You can utilize Apple Business Manager to deploy your custom apps throughout your organization. You can also see your tax information here in order to help you with that process. When we get into the enrollment information here and device management settings, you can then see the MDM server. You can see the customer numbers that are various for you when purchasing from Apple or working with your reseller and getting their reseller ID. Another great tool within this section is the default device assignment. Now, in order to help you save time, whenever you're ordering new devices, they can hit Apple Business Manager but forget to get to your MDM server. Utilize this function to streamline the assignment of devices to whatever mobile device management server you're using. So then, again, we're creating that zero-touch deployment experience where you order the device from your Apple authorized reseller, it hits Apple Business Manager server, and then goes to mobile device management. So let's help you get started. This sounds like a great program, Danny. Where do I go? How do I make sure I can use it for my organization? Now, based upon the various region or country you might be in, we want to make sure that it's available for you to take advantage of. So feel free to go to this link here, take a screenshot here, search for availability of Apple programs for business. We can help you make sure that it's available for you and your needs. When we're looking at the program, there's a couple other requirements that are needed. First, you can only access it from Safari on an iPad running iOS 12 or later. You can access it from Safari on a macOS device as well. You can utilize Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge to access this portal. Any other platform or browser will not give you access into Apple Business Manager. When you're going through the enrollment process for the first time, it's going to ask you for 3 buckets of information: initial account, verification contact, and organization details. The initial account is you. It's the person that is getting access into the account for the first time. Now, this needs to be a real person, no alias name, if you will, no IT coordinator or iPad deployment. The work email that you use cannot be associated with iCloud or any other Apple service. So a lot of times companies might create an alias email in order to make sure that it goes directly to your email if your email is already an Apple ID. It also asks for your work phone number and job title. The verification contact is somebody other than yourself that can verify that you are who you say you are and that you have the authority to sign and bind your organization to the terms and conditions of Apple Business Manager. This other person will be contacted by phone or email and asked to confirm information about you and your organization. Think of things like name, email, phone, or role or title. The organization details is helpful for Apple to know what organization is signing up. So this includes information like the company phone number or website URL. It also includes information about the Duns and Bradstreet number that's associated with your company. If you don't know what your Duns and Bradstreet number is, you can look at Apple support articles to get access to what that might be, as well as look up Duns and Bradstreet lookup tool, and they'll help you find one. When you're going through the enrollment process, it's helpful to be reminded of a few things. First and foremost, give yourself time. Normally, this process can take 3 to 5 business days. However, if there's holidays or initial contact or verification contact can't get in touch with Apple, it can go a little bit longer. And so give yourself some time. Start early in the process of exploring with Apple. Look up your DUNS number, which we talked about briefly on the last slide. Notify your verification contact that Apple will be reaching out to you. Help them know what the process might look like and what you're using this portal for. Also, use a non-existing Apple ID work email for your initial account. Again, this is going to streamline the process for you to get this account set up and hopefully get you into the portal as soon as possible. If you do have additional questions or need support, Apple has great articles and tools within their support website. Feel free to go to business.apple.com and you can click on the question mark at the top right, and that will get you to this website as well. So, how do we use Apple Business Manager with mobile device management? Apple Business Manager allows you to upload and integrate into your mobile device management server. It allows you to take advantage of device assignments and allows you to distribute apps and books to your MDM so they can go directly to a device without requiring an Apple ID, without requiring a password. Just shows up magically on that device. When you're adding an MDM server, you do this within the settings of Apple Business Manager. You click the plus sign, you can make it the name, whatever you'd like it to be, and then once it's downloaded the token, you then upload a token from your MDM server into Apple Business Manager like you see here in order to make sure that devices communicate to your MDM server. Again, here's where you can create the default device assignment in order to make sure that all of your devices get to your mobile device management server. When you're assigning devices, you can go to devices on the left column, search by serial number or device type or order number, and even source. Think of different resellers that you might choose. You can select multiple or one at a time. Select Edit Device Management in the middle column, and then you can assign and send it right to your MDM server. This handoff only takes a few seconds. As I mentioned before, taking advantage of default device assignments so you don't have to go through device assignments so many times for multiple different purchases for new employees or refresh can really help you save time and hopefully be efficient and more effective in the work that you do. Under Settings in Apps and Books, we can get our token and talk about locations again to upload into our mobile device management platform. Some mobile device management platforms allow you to upload multiple tokens in order to work with various locations. You then click on the left column to get into Apps and Books, search for the application you need, assign to a specific location that's made sure it's connected to your mobile device management platform, and then choose how many licenses you might need. Again, the content manager within here can change and transfer devices and licenses between various tokens and locations. The various tokens that associate from Apple Business Manager into your MDM platform are found under Settings in Apps and Books. When you integrate Apple Business Manager with your mobile device management server, we're able to help you take advantage of No Step 3, so that when a device turns on and you see the hello screen, you can go through language, region, and connecting to a network. And then mobile device management can help you be successful in creating that zero-touch deployment. As we wrap up with the rest of our time, I want to quickly remind you of a few things. First and foremost, Apple Business Manager is not an MDM. It enables you to take advantage of the capabilities that Apple has allowed with mobile device management servers. Taking advantage of Apple Business Manager allows you to assign devices, purchase your apps and books in bulk, and ultimately is going to give you back time to help you be effective and efficient and ultimately be successful with Apple device deployments. Now, before I send you on your way, I have a couple housekeeping items first and foremost that I'd like to go over. First, if you have any questions, please type them out in the chat. I hope that we'll be able to get to them before the end of our time. If we don't get to all your questions today, we'll make sure that we email you our responses. And if you need additional support from other existing Apple IT admins, I highly encourage you to search and join our free community at Jamf Nation. 100,000 admins and give you access to the resources and team that you might need for your organization. Create a free account today to join in the discussion. Thank you for listening. Again, we'll email you the recording when it's ready. And if you're ready to get started with Jamf, maybe you're utilizing Apple Business Manager, but you don't know what MDM to use yet. Scan the QR code on the screen using the camera app on your iPhone, and that will help us get in touch with you. If you have additional questions or want to learn more, you can always email us as well at info@jamf.com.